Are you ready to scale your coaching business to consistent 30K plus months without the burnout? The truth is, more sales and clients aren't the only things that you need. You need a scalable system that simplifies your business and accelerates your growth. Most coaches hit a plateau because they lack a structured, sustainable framework that allows them to scale without working harder. In this episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi, I'm walking you through the Scalable system, my proven 3-step system designed to help coaches attract, convert, and sustain high income months with ease. This is the exact method I use to scale to multiple 6 and even 7 figures, and what my clients implement to experience the same results. Let's dive on in. So step 1 is to have a sustainable strategy. Most coaches struggle with inconsistent revenue because they lack a clear and repeatable strategy to attract and nurture leads. They're either relying too heavily on referrals, hoping social media posts alone will bring them clients, or scrambling every month to generate new leads without a real plan. A sustainable strategy ensures that you're bringing in the right people daily and warming them up so that they're ready to buy when you make an offer. The key is to stop relying on one-off efforts and instead implement a system that works consistently and predictably. All right. So inside sustainable strategy, I teach number 1, the daily lead attractor, the strategy for bringing in new high quality leads every single day so you never feel like you're starting from scratch each month. This includes leveraging long form content, short form content, collaborations, and referral networks. So we want a variety of different ways. And no, it's not about what time you post, the hashtags to use, and the latest algorithm trends. It's about the things that matter. Your messaging quality and specificity, the detail, having a variety of different types of content, both long and short. It's about leveraging other people's followings and networks through collaborations and other strategies so that you're not dependent on one platform. You're not dependent on social media working one way right now, and then when something updates, you're just completely screwed, right? We want a streamlined way of a variety of different ways that we can attract leads daily, okay? And when you're clear on this plan, you have a process, right? Then you're going to be attracting high quality leads every day, and you don't ever have to wake up thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get another lead? How am I going to grow my business? Okay. Because so many people make the mistake of focusing on things that don't actually matter. And so then when Instagram goes and makes a big update or a big change, or when TikTok decides to be banned in America and all of these things, it doesn't affect you. But if you're focused on those things, it really, really does. Instead, what I like to focus on is just the things that matter and apply to all platforms, no matter what is happening. Things that have proven and stood the test of time, that have always worked, which is why I've been in business for over 5 years now and have done the same thing the whole time, no matter what is upgraded and changed and, new things that have come into the world, because I'm focused on what matters. The difference is between where I was on year 1 versus year 5 is just I'm so much better at what I did on day 1. That's literally it. The second thing that you need to focus on within sustainable strategy is the weekly audience nurturer. So once you've attracted your leads through the daily lead attractor, now we want to nurture those leads we've attracted through the weekly audience nurturer. So this is how to keep your leads warm and engaged so that they move through the buyer journey faster. This includes strategic email sequences, value-driven content, live trainings, and behind-the-scenes insights, amongst a variety of other things. Now, this is really, really important because this is going to be the difference between people liking you and having an idea of you to really liking, knowing, and trusting you, engaging in your content and moving forwards with you, reaching out, asking for more, opting in for all of your things. So if you get low signups and registrations for your freebies and your events and all that sort of stuff, it's because you haven't done a very good job at this, all right? So that's the second thing. The third thing is that we need the hybrid funnel converter. This is a method that combines both live free workshops and evergreen trainings and a strategic call to action process for each of them so that you can consistently turn those leads into high paying quality clients without constantly feeling exhausted by your approaches of trying to gain clients and traction, right? So it is so important to be running events, whether that's live workshops, whether that's paid workshops, free workshops, or evergreen trainings. We want a combination of it all, mostly the live free workshops and the evergreen trainings, because then we have a way for people to find out about us and our signature method at all times, whether that be immediately from an evergreen training that they've registered for, or whether that be even an in-depth and live experience for you at a workshop. This long-form content, this deep nurturing process using a proper strategy and script for this entire thing is an absolute game changer for my business and for my clients' businesses. And if you're not yet doing it, you are leaving so much money on the table. You know, they say that it takes around 7 hours of content for people to buy on average, right? And so if you're only doing these tiny little posts that barely, generate any value, or you're just doing these 7-second reels, right? You do the math on how many of them you need to do before someone's consumed 7 hours of content, right? Whereas if you're doing a 45-minute podcast episode, an hour and a half workshop, an hour workshop, then you can see that people buy so much faster. And when done correctly, these events throughout the hybrid funnel converter, it actually takes less than 7 hours, right? I have people that buy, before I've even delivered the workshop, because what I did, from the moment that they registered to the workshop, actually converted them. But also then those that attend one workshop will convert so many people. And, if you're nailing this process and you're doing it consistently, because it's not exhausting when you just use the same process over and over again and you completely nailed it, then they'll buy on the second one if they haven't bought on the first one. But if you're never ever doing it, oh my God, are you choosing a slow way to grow your business? So where do you stand when it comes to sustainable strategy? Red, let's use a traffic light system here. Red, you're not consistently attracting leads and your revenue is unpredictable. Yellow, you bring in leads but struggle to nurture and convert them effectively. And green, you have a steady flow of leads coming in and a process to consistently turn those leads into clients. Are you red, yellow, or green? It might sting a little, but just be completely honest with yourself, because that is how you're going to move forwards and get on the other side of this and turn that red or turn that yellow into green, okay? So you must have the daily lead attractor, the weekly audience nurturer, and the hybrid funnel converter if you want to have a sustainable strategy that brings in the right people daily and converts them all of the time. All right, so the takeaway here is when you have a clear strategy for attracting and nurturing leads, your sales process becomes effortless. No more scrambling, no more feast and famine months. All right, step number 2, when it comes to the 3 steps to hit 30K months in 2025 is seamless sales. Sales should feel easy and natural, not forced. The key is having a system that moves potential clients from interested to invested without feeling salesy. The biggest mistake I see coaches make is relying on random sales tactics instead of implementing a proven, repeatable process that creates predictable income. Here's what that looks like. First of all, starting at the foundations, having a no-brainer offer. If your offer sucks, it doesn't matter how good your sales skills are, you're not going to get buyers. So an irresistible high value offer that clients say yes to without hesitation because it's that good. This means having clear messaging, structured pricing, and a strong value proposition. So it's often actually about how you articulate the offer more so than the inclusions. Of course, the inclusions and the layout and the design of the program actually matters and needs to be tailored to your target audience, but so often people actually have fantastic offers and deliver an exceptional service. They just suck at the articulation of it, and that's why people don't buy. So you need to have a no-brainer offer and know how to articulate it in a way that is a no-brainer. I love giving you as much free, valuable content as possible to help you scale. That's why I've put all of my latest free and paid resources in one place. Head to www.sofiarosebernardi.com/links or click the link in the show notes to grab my latest free resources and sign up for my upcoming workshops. Now, back to the episode. All right. The second thing you need when it comes to seamless sales is the sell via chat method. So this is the process that I've created that allows you to master DMs and conversations in a way that feels natural and leads to clients signing up easily without spammy cold DMs and cold outreach. I'm so against that, and that's not what this is. But if you're not having conversations because you don't know how to sell via chat and have those authentic conversations, you are leaving so much money on the table, because in the coaching industry, we are providing a service, which means we have to build a relationship in order for people to like, know, and trust us and purchase our service. And what better way to build a relationship than to have a freaking conversation? So if you're not having conversation and you're not posting content that leads people to reaching out to you and wanting to have conversations with you, you're leaving so much money on the table. There is a saying, and I forget who quotes this, so I apologize, but someone said, The only reason why you should do anything in your business on social media is to start and have conversations. That's how important it really, really is. And I happen to agree. I used to be so nervous about it because I didn't want to come across the wrong way. And sometimes you can do all the right things and you've just happened to speak to the wrong person at the wrong time who's having a terrible day and takes it out on you. But if you can just move past that, focus on the long-term vision and focus on the majority, with a really seamless process, it's going to mean that you get far less of that and far more conversions instead. And this is, again, why we want to focus on sustainable strategy, because then we want to attract the right people to begin with, and then we're going to get far less problems, and therefore you don't need to be worried about saying something or messaging someone or following up with someone when really they've presented problems to you and they really, really need your help, and you're providing a solution to that, whether that be through your free resource, an event, or your offer, okay? And then finally, the retention builder. So keeping clients long-term, increasing their lifetime value, and creating an ecosystem where clients stay, refer, and buy again. This is so, so important. I've had clients stay with me for years and years and years for the entire duration of the existence of my program because I have the retention builder in place. Instead of hustling all the time to get new client after new client after new client, instead do such a good job with your service and delivery that your existing clients actually stay, which makes, increases the lifetime value of each customer, but also means that you don't have to chase new clients all the time. So where do you stand when it comes to seamless sales? Red, you don't have a structured sales process and conversions feel unpredictable. Yellow, you get some sales, but it takes a lot of effort and you don't have a consistent method. And green, sales feels easy, natural, and predictable. The takeaway here is that sales doesn't have to be hard when you have a structured and aligned process that feels natural and works strategically to have a high conversion rate. Most successful coaches don't sell, they simply serve, all right? So the problem isn't sales, my friends. It's the way you're going about it. It's your mindset and approach to it. And this leads me on to the third step to hit 30K months in 2025, and that is through having simple systems. If you're constantly overwhelmed with manual tasks, your business will always feel hard. Simple systems ensure that your business runs efficiently, saving you 15 plus hours a week so that you can focus on growth and client delivery. Most coaches plateau because they're trying to do everything themselves. They don't have back-end systems in place, which means they spend unnecessary hours on admin work, content creation, and leads management instead of focusing on income generating activities. So there's 3 things that we need to implement and master when it comes to simple systems so that you actually have capacity to grow further. First but not least is the organized backend, a stress-free structured backend that supports the growth of your business by keeping all of your business operations, files and documents and all of the things streamlined and easy to navigate. This means having organized files, automated workflows, and structured project management tools. Now, I'm not talking about rigid stuff and you need 50,000 softwares and spend $1 million in order to get it work. I'm talking about the most basic things. Majority of my business is run on literally a Google Drive folder. It's just neatly organized, everything's correctly labeled, and yeah, most of my things are free on Google. That's literally it. So it's not about all this rigidity. It's actually about just having some organization, some basic organization skills. So you don't have to think about that and have that consume you. And you've actually got mental capacity and energy to focus on what actually matters. The second thing within simple systems is the template hub. So time-saving templates for content, sales, and client onboarding that eliminate repetitive work and decision fatigue. Every successful coach has systems in place that speed up tasks, whether it's email scripts, post templates, or response sequences. All right. And the third, last but not least, in fact, this is one of the most important things, is the business evaluation, a framework to identify and fix bottlenecks in your business so that you can scale smarter and faster. Instead of guessing what's wrong in your business, you'll have the structured data-driven approach to focus on what actually needs to change. Now, before I overwhelm you and have you run away, I get it. No one really loves, well, us women anyways, don't really love like data-driven approaches. I shouldn't generalize, but at least for me, the word data, I just used to hate that so much. I'm like, I don't want to track the data. Like, I just want to help my clients. Like, I just want to be a girl and I just want to help people. Like, why do I have to do all this masculine stuff? But to be honest, what I actually want, outside of course, supporting my clients, is having freedom and flow and spaciousness. And as soon as I realized that having data and having that masculine side of things is actually what allows me to have the freedom and flow, my goodness, did I start paying attention to it. It also halved the amount of effort I was putting into my business, because instead of guessing what was working, what wasn't working, and just changing things unnecessarily, I started only tweaking the things that weren't working as well, and I kept everything else the same. And then all of a sudden I had this perfected funnel and everything was working perfectly, leaving me to make over $100,000 per launch sometimes in my events. This is what happens when you have the business evaluation in place. So when it comes to simple systems, where do you stand? Red, you feel overwhelmed and your back end is disorganized. Yellow, you have some systems but they're not fully optimized. Or green, your business runs efficiently with structured processes in place. The takeaway here, if you're doing something more than once, you need a system or a template for it to save time and increase efficiency within your business. The less manual work you do, the more time you have for high-level activities that actually grow the business. My final thoughts for you here is that you can scale without burnout, without income plateaus, and without overwhelm if you have the scalable system in place, should I say. Most coaches struggle to scale because they are stuck in client delivery, inconsistent marketing, and disorganized operations. They're trying to do everything manually, and that's why they're burning out before hitting their next level. So if you want to break through income ceiling, streamline your business, and scale to 30K months, without working more hours necessarily, this system is exactly what you need. And if you would like my help implementing this system, giving you all the templates, the scripts, the frameworks, the exact process, hand it to you on a silver platter, then DM me the word scale on Instagram and let's chat about working together, right? I'm currently have the doors open to work with new clients, and all you have to do is DM me the word scale at Sofia Rose Bernardi. And if you would like the link to my Instagram to make that an easy process, click the link in the show notes, as I would love to chat to you. It will be a completely casual, no pressure chat just to see if I can even help you and tell you what that would look like, and then you're free to make the right decision for you from there so that you can finally get unstuck from being in the same spot in your business and actually move forwards. I'll see you next week, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to hit subscribe. It means the world to me, and I promise to keep bringing you top tier coaching insights every single week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.